Om Sushumna, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. We all entertain ourselves by watching TV and movies, right? We see characters completely involved in their story. They have challenging moments, they have ecstatic moments, and various other nuances of life. We get carried away. We are so enamored by the life's ecstatic moments that we don't want to experience the challenging moments of those characters. We feel that I wish I didn't experience that. But in real life, we could be confronted with such a situation. We won't know the depth of it until we experience it. Life is beautiful with both challenging and ecstatic moments, and we all have had that. And my life is one such story as well. I am Sowmya and I'm born and raised in Hyderabad. I'd like to share my story of learning and growth, which is continuous, it never stops. And the lessons are unbelievable. Every time you think you've already learnt a lesson, another one shows up until you master. The journey of self-growth has been nothing but an eye-opening experience. I think each one of us at one point in our life question, like, why am I born? What is my purpose on earth? Why should I be born to this family? Why should I be in this situation? Why should I be doing what I'm doing right now? But you get to ask these questions only when you're isolated, or at least when you're by yourself. Because when you fall into the vicious circle that everyone is in a day-to-day routine of going to work, coming back, sleeping, then entertainment, then sleeping, you can see years, decades pass by, and you still remain where you are. In your physical life, you might see more comforts, but internally, you're only going lower and lower. And you realize that where am I today in terms of peace and calmness within? Then the search begins. Then you begin to question, am I really happy? Am I looking for my happiness outside of me? And then you also internalize that I am responsible for where I am today. In the beginning, it always feels amazing. It comforts you when you say that, oh, because of that, I am unhappy. Because of him, I'm unhappy. Decades pass by and you are still unhappy by blaming others. One thing we don't realize is we have a choice at every single moment of our life. Yes, it might not be easy, but one choice, one decision can change your entire life. For me, my isolation, the time I took to sit with myself, it was dreadful, it was terrifying. It was nothing but tragedy, I would say. But why should sitting with myself be such a tragedy? We expect others to like us for whoever we are. We don't fight our own inner demons. And slowly, as I have sat with myself for 4 months, and I have taken each experience, each feeling, each thought head on, I have realized that over 4 months there was some sense of calmness that began to crop up within me. Mind you, those 4 months were so terrifying that when I'd get angry, I would just pick up a pillow and punch it just to release that energy. But I would not go out with my friends, I would not watch TV to distract myself, and I wouldn't watch any comedy or just try to dilute that situation. I would sit with it. If I wanted to cry, I would cry. For hours, cry. How long can a person be in one particular feeling and thought? Just try it for yourself. You can't be happy continuously, you cannot be sad also continuously. We are wired that way because we are eternal beings. We are a small bit of an infinite source, and that source is within us. I started to feel this kind of an information, and also it came by reading books. And my journey began by starting to desperately look for sadhanas, look for any kind of a routine that can keep me grounded, that can keep me calm and peaceful, irrespective of what's happening in my physical life. And trust me, I have tried so many techniques. I've been able to pursue it for a short period of time, some very long, but I couldn't feel that yearning or that sense of wanting to do it irrespective of where I am, what I am. I felt like I wanted a routine where I'd wake up no matter where I am, what circumstance it is, and I wanted to do it so that it becomes a discipline and I also gain benefits. So I set out to look for various techniques. I tried the Shambhavi Mahamudra. Although it gave me a lot of peace and solace for a momentary period, I couldn't follow through. So I realized maybe that's not for me. And then I moved on to Sahaj Yoga, and then I moved on to various other techniques. But every technique did teach me one thing or another, that we are eternal beings. And in every teaching or a discourse that you would hear of these techniques, they all say that we are responsible for where we are today. Then there was a small inclination and a thought that, you know what, today I want to change my destiny. And that day it so happened that I came across this book, The Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahamsa Yogananda. And life took a complete shift from there. I was so interested, so obsessed. Although I was working a 9-to-5 job, I was so obsessed. I was looking for those 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go sit and read the book, go sit and explore the other courses that were there. And then I signed up for the Self-Realization Fellowship courses, and I would get these books, and there I could understand the essence of mind, body and soul. From the basics, it was explained on what is subtle body, who are you, what is your physical body. There were all these explanations that were given in it. So it started to get very interesting. However, the sadhana itself was 3 hours long. Just to understand a certain posture and how you sit, there was a long discourse. But I wanted something quicker. We all want something quicker and something that's more interesting, so we can fit in that into our daily routine. I was desperately looking for it, researching and all that. And one fine day, I just came across a YouTube video of Sushumna Kriya Yoga of a public class in Shilpakala Vedika in Hyderabad of Pujya Shri Atmanandamayi Ammagaru. And it was an hour long. I wasn't sure if I could follow through the entire hour. So I thought, okay, why not listen to it and just see what is this Sushumna Kriya Yoga. And then I just started, I began to play the video. And there it began. Just by listening to the mere voice of Ammagaru, there was some vibration and some kind of a grounding effect while I was listening to that video. And I just followed through. I just have no words. Her simplicity, her depth in that smile. Her smile is so infectious and contagious that you just want to keep looking at it. It's just so unconditional. Even if she doesn't speak a word, just her mere grace, her presence can change the chemistry in your body and your thoughts and your feelings. After watching the 1-hour video of Sushumna Kriya Yoga initiation of Ammagaru, I have decided to take up this challenge, not just to experience something or expect something out of it, just to see if I can even follow through some kind of a challenge of waking up in the morning in wee hours around 4 a.m. and practicing the Kriya for 49 minutes, just to sit with me. If I can follow through it for 49 days, I can put my mind to anything. And I started off with the challenge. The first few days were very, very challenging, and there were so many thoughts that came up. And the funny thing is, one thought and the other thought has no relation, no correlation whatsoever. And then slowly this realization started to dawn. 21st day of the Kriya, slowly I started to experience pain in my left ear. And it started increasing, and it became excruciatingly painful in my left ear. I felt like, is this true? Am I hallucinating, or what's happening? Because it was very, very painful. And it just went away after 49 minutes. And then I would write down, after every day of my Kriya, I would write down what would happen, what my thoughts were, and how I felt about it. And I kept making notes. The second day, I got the pain in my right ear. And the third day was in my left nostril. And the fourth day was my throat. It was so painful, as if somebody was choking me. And it became a pattern, because all these are my senses, right? Ears, nose, throat. Something's been happening very strange. And after the 49 minutes, I have no idea about it. So it was difficult to take in the situation and understand what's happening. And if I didn't know who to reach out to at that moment, and I started to do my research, and I saw in one of Ammagaru's video where she said that it's all inner processing. And then when you're patient, the energy blockages, they all come up and they just get released. We just have to be patient with it. And then comes the moment around, this was on July 7th, 2021, the most pivotal moment of my life. I would not be here today if it were not for that experience. So as I sat in the Kriya, I was sitting in the chair with my AC on at 4 a.m. in the morning. I have no clue at what point in time it was. Slowly I started to feel uneasiness in my stomach, very nauseous. And then the feeling, the uneasiness started getting stronger and stronger, to a point where I started getting breathless. But there was this determination, there was this voice that kept saying, regardless of how you feel, you're not going to open your mudra or your eyes. If I die right here. There was this grit, there was this strong obsessive grit that I would not break the chain. And it became so powerful that I completely lost control, and I could feel myself completely drooping forward. And I knew those were the last moments of my life. It just got so bad, and at one moment, in that one very moment where I gave up that I'm gone, there was some kind of an energy. I don't know if I should call it energy, I don't know what it is. It was so powerful that it just shot up from my lower abdomen all the way to my to the center point of my head. And that's it. I did not feel anything. I could not feel my body. I did not see anything. There was absolute silence and darkness. But there is so much of awareness around, not a single thought. That to me was just mind blowing. I just knew that I was dead. I just knew it. And then slowly there was this feeling, the way I felt was, the vibration was so strong. It felt like, we would do these science experiments where you take a tungsten and you'd hit it and there's this buzz, right? I would feel that buzz in my ears. Not even ears, I don't know what, I don't feel anything. And there's this calm moment, so surreal, so peaceful, I cannot explain. And then slowly when Ammagaru said, okay, my awareness started to go down. But that feeling, that vibration stayed for the next 40 to 45 minutes. I just sat in shock. I didn't know whether I was doing something right, because it was a scary moment. Obviously, it was a very scary moment. When I started to get the awareness back into my body, I could feel this extreme tingling sensation, and slowly as that awareness kept coming down, I realized that I was drenched in sweat, and my feet, my hands, my nose was completely ice cold. That very moment I knew it was a confirmation that I was dead. If death feels like that, what am I even fearing about? And I wrote about this, and I did not know what to do. I don't know, I was thinking that I was doing the sadhana wrong. What could have happened to me? And then I reached out to one of the volunteers to talk about it. And they were very gracious enough to listen to my experience and explain that this does happen. A lot of clearing and cleansing happens during Sushumna Kriya Yoga, and you're blessed with that experience. And then my journey has completely taken a different direction. Fearlessness dawned in me. If death can feel like this, what else are we afraid about? Whether a lost relationship, whether a person passes away, there's nothing to fear. And Sushumna Kriya Yoga is by far, I feel, the most easiest way to get to that awareness. 49 minutes. And within that 49 minutes, even that 0.1% of silence you get, you have done it. You have reached the thoughtlessness. But I'm excited that it grew from a millisecond to probably 2 minutes or 3 minutes so far within this 1 year. And to me, that's a great progress. The way I'm able to touch people's life around is also changing, and that is so rewarding. And I am so happy that I've come across Sushumna Kriya Yoga. It is a blessing to our life. It is something so simple, it's free. All it needs is your time for yourself. Let us invest our time practicing Sushumna Kriya Yoga. Om Sushumna, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.